Hi there everyone. Leanne checking in just to give you a bit of an update on my journey, my MS journey with the trial drug Mavenclad. So for those who have been following, thank you again for your support. And I didn't really want to bore you by jumping on every day and telling you the same things, so I left it a little bit. So since I've spoken to you last time, I have finished week 2 of year 1 of the Mavenclad. So that's it for 12 months now. So that's awesome that I'm finished for the year, but they were only tablets anyway, so it was no big deal swallowing them except for when I burnt my tongue. However, now as the drug begins to work, hopefully, what will happen is, as mentioned before, my lymphocytes will drop lower. So the first blood test that I had after the week 1, my lymphocytes were 0.6, and so I'm suspecting that they're going probably a bit lower, given that I've just had the week 2. So we'll monitor that a little bit closer, I think. That week, it was pretty similar to the first week. I had the nausea, the fatigue is kicking in more, which is a bit disappointing, but not surprising. Again, because of the sharing of information on the Mavenclad social media groups, I'm kind of aware of, I'm not surprised by things when they happen, because I have read that certain things may happen. So the fatigue kicked in, as did more of the lightheadedness, which I'm not liking at all. I liken it to, if you haven't eaten for way too long and your body, you start to get lightheaded, you feel a bit nauseous, and you just feel like you need to eat. It's like that. But then when you eat something, it doesn't go away. And the fatigue is, it's a bit debilitating when it kicks in. And then in between, I just try and do what I can and make the most of the energy I have at the time, and then rest when I need to. So I'm learning to give in to it a little bit more. Some of the things that I've experienced since I finished that week are, again, not, I'm disappointed, but a little, that I'm feeling some of these additional symptoms, but I'm not surprised totally or scared by them, because I have been reading that other people, for example, weakness in my arms and hands, increased weakness in my arms and hands, and tingling. I had it a lot yesterday. I didn't have it as much today, so that's good. Might not last long. And I had an interesting day today. I had a great day, actually. My daughter, Caitlin, and I went shopping to Miranda, and it was nice. She drove. But if you know Miranda Fair in Sydney, Australia, it's a really big shopping centre. And for somebody with short-term memory loss who gets disorientated very easily, it's good to go with someone else. So spin me around and I'm lost, let alone, in this massive shopping centre. So Caitlin guided me around the shopping centre. I'd come out of a shop and just head back in the same direction that we'd already been. So lucky I had Katie Rose with me. And we went shopping before. We have a wedding coming up, so we were looking for wedding dresses to wear. So that was good. I had a great day. Tired when I got home, but who isn't tired after you've been shopping at Miranda Fair? Let's face it. I've got some notes written down because my memory and my brain fog's really not the best. I've also had more hair thinning. I'm getting a little nervous about that because I can see my scalp. So I'm doing lots of comb overs. If it really does, what I'm learning is that the side effects, whilst everyone says, oh great, you finished your tablets for the year, over the next several weeks is when the side effects really kick in as your immune system's dampened. So I'm not sure what the next few weeks or months are going to bring, but just taking it one day at a time. And so I have a new love of hats, and I was never a hat girl. So today I actually bought another hat out at Miranda Fair. I'm going to show you my hat. I really like it, but I don't normally wear hats very much. So if I lose much more, I'll be wearing one 24/7. Okay. So I said to Caitlin, am I too old for this hat? She says no. I don't know. Tell me what you think. But anyway, you'll see me in hats a lot. If I really do, jokes aside, if I really do lose too much hair or in big patches, I am going to shave it. And I'll start wearing some bandanas and bring in another new trend. So we'll see. Watch this space. So I have got some notes written, because even though I know what I want to talk about, when you're tired or you've got more brain fog, all the MS warriors out there know what brain fog or cog fog, it has lots of different nicknames. They know what it's like. It's very hard to stay focused and to stay on point. It can be really hard to not be distracted and lose your train of thought. So it can be hard to get through something. So I thought if I just wrote a few notes, so if you see me looking to the side, it's really so that I don't forget what I want to share with you. Some days I just talk off the top of my head, and other days, it is what it is. The reason I started Mavenclad was I was on Galenia previously. Actually, let me go back a step. I was on Beneferon for 17 years. Then I went to Galenia because my neurologist decided that he didn't think it was really doing what it should be doing anymore. And my memory and cognition wasn't doing so well. And so then we went to the Galenia, and that predominantly was about trying to reverse or preserve the brain function, cognition, memory, etc. And then there were the complications that Galenia gave me with my heart, resulting in a triple bypass and 4 stents, I think 7 arteries all up. And so then Mavenclad was the next option. I thought I know I touched on it last time. I said that I would talk to you more about my personal journey with the cognition side of things. So I won't get to do all of that tonight, but I thought I might do it in my next video, from just give you a brief outline of what it's like. I guess on a more intimate level, the struggle and the embarrassment and the debilitation of short-term memory loss. Just to finish for tonight, I'll just leave you with a brief outline of what I'll talk about next time, and that is, in the early years of my MS, I suspected cognition challenges, which mild cognition deficits are uncommon in MS. So having worked in the aging disability sector most of my life, I took myself off for a neuropsych assessment. So a neuropsychologist who pretty much assesses and looks at and lots of very intense testing on your memory and cognition, etc. So it came back as a mild. And then if I jump ahead down the track, probably 10 years, I really was having trouble. I was really struggling, and I'm going to share that story with you next time. But just in brief, I sent myself off again for another neuropsych assessment, and it was pretty distressing because I came out as having a moderate short-term, it's an MS acquired brain injury, I guess, or an MS type of dementia, different to typical dementia in that, I'm not going to forget who my family are, but I came out as having moderate short-term acquired memory loss, and in some areas even severe. So I went from being Dory out of the Nemo movie to 10-Second Tom. And if you haven't watched 50 First Dates, you have to watch it. It's the best movie ever. And I'm 10-Second Tom. Hi, I'm Leanne. Hi, I'm Leanne. And so, yeah, I'm now 10-second Tom. But I want to share with you a little bit about the struggles of that, not for any other reason than to create awareness, because most of us in our life know somebody with some form of memory loss, whether it's an acquired brain injury, whether it's dementia, and some of the challenges, not just for yourself, but for your family, loved ones, carers, etc. So for now, I'll say good night, and I will chat to you soon and keep you up to date of the Mavenclad journey and touch on some of the cognition challenges and a little bit about my story. See ya. Bye.